Welcome to Image Deco. In today's video, we're diving into the world of classic charm and garden romance as we explore how to create a dreamy courtyard inspired by the best English vintage garden yard ideas. If you're looking to transform your small outdoor space into a timeless haven filled with blooming flowers, weathered textures, and elegant old-world touches, then you're in the right place. English vintage garden design is all about layering details, embracing imperfection, and curating beauty with a soft, nostalgic touch. From winding pathways to antique garden decor, we'll walk you through the essential elements that can elevate even the tiniest yard. So whether you have a cozy courtyard, a small backyard, or just a patio corner, there's plenty of inspiration for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Image Deco channel for more unique home and garden ideas every week. When we talk about English vintage garden design, we often imagine a sense of curated wilderness, where florals overflow, structures age gracefully, and every corner feels touched by time. A key element in creating this look is embracing the charm of nature's imperfections. Instead of a manicured and highly structured yard, opt for a slightly overgrown, organic feel. Let climbing roses cover the trellis, let herbs spill out from terracotta pots, and allow moss to settle between old stone pavers. The beauty lies in how nature softens the boundaries, and nothing feels too forced. Pair this with vintage garden tools, aged metal chairs, and distressed wooden benches to enhance that timeless ambience. You want your yard to feel like it's been loved for decades, even if you've only just started. The right blend of aging materials and lush greenery brings an undeniable magic to your courtyard. Not every space needs to be sprawling to embrace English vintage garden charm. Even the smallest courtyard can become a captivating retreat when designed with intention. Begin by defining a pathway that leads the eye. Use bricks, gravel, or stepping stones to guide movement. Add a focal point, such as a birdbath, antique bench, or an old iron bistro set. Surround it with plantings in varying heights and textures. Low herbs like thyme and lavender near the path, medium-height blooms like foxgloves, and tall climbing vines on trellises or fences. Vintage-style lighting or a lantern nestled between plants adds an inviting glow in the evenings. This design approach emphasizes intimacy and detail over scale. By layering textures, colors, and vintage touches, you create depth and atmosphere in even the most compact spaces. A courtyard becomes more than just a backyard. It becomes a timeless experience. Not every space needs to be sprawling to embrace English vintage garden charm. Even the smallest courtyard can become a captivating retreat when designed with intention. Begin by defining a pathway that leads the eye. Use bricks, gravel, or stepping stones to guide movement. Add a focal point, such as a birdbath, antique bench, or an old iron bistro set. Surround it with plantings in varying heights and textures. Low herbs like thyme and lavender near the path, medium-height blooms like foxgloves, and tall climbing vines on trellises or fences. Vintage-style lighting or a lantern nestled between plants adds an inviting glow in the evenings. This design approach emphasizes intimacy and detail over scale. By layering textures, colors, and vintage touches, you create depth and atmosphere in even the most compact spaces. A courtyard becomes more than just a backyard. It becomes a timeless experience. When it comes to vintage detail, furniture and decor play a starring role in the character of an English garden. Think wrought iron seating with delicate scrollwork, weathered wooden benches, and tables adorned with chipped paint or patina. Incorporate antique elements like ceramic urns, stone birdbaths, or reclaimed architectural fragments to create visual interest. Garden accessories like galvanized watering cans, enamel pitchers, or rusted lanterns double as both practical tools and nostalgic art pieces. These details help tell a story of history, craftsmanship, and time-worn beauty. Position seating in shaded or semi-private nooks, perhaps under an arbor or beside tall hedging, to give the garden a sense of retreat. Layer these elements with cozy throws, floral cushions, and perhaps an old bookshelf repurposed into a plant stand. These charming pieces breathe life into your courtyard and give it an unmistakable English soul. Paths are more than just a way to walk through your garden. They're an invitation to explore. A winding pathway adds movement and intrigue to your courtyard design. Use reclaimed brick, weathered stepping stones, or gravel with moss growing between the cracks. Edges can be softened with clusters of flowering ground covers like creeping thyme or alyssum. As you wander down the path, let it lead to a focal point. Maybe a vintage bench under a tree, a statue surrounded by wildflowers, or a small raised flower bed filled with color. These gentle curves and surprises along the way add whimsy and create layers of discovery. Pair the path with a mixture of border plants such as lady's mantle, ferns, and lavender that feel relaxed and informal. This wandering route is not just about aesthetics. It enhances the experience of being in the garden. It invites you to pause, observe, and breathe in a timeless charm. In small courtyard spaces, maximizing vertical space is key to achieving a full and immersive garden feel. Incorporate trellises, pergolas, or old wooden ladders as structures for climbing plants like wisteria, jasmine, and clematis. These vertical additions give height to your garden and allow you to create lush green walls that feel both private and enveloping. Consider hanging vintage-style planters or wall-mounted baskets to add layers at different levels. Even a rustic shutter mounted on a wall can become a vertical herb garden. This technique adds intimacy and elegance, especially in tight spaces where horizontal expansion isn't possible. Complement these elements with distressed outdoor mirrors, wrought iron decor, or old window frames to reflect light and amplify the vintage aesthetic. Vertical gardening turns an ordinary courtyard wall into a living tapestry and strengthens that secluded, dreamy ambience unique to English vintage garden design. The magic of an English vintage courtyard intensifies as day turns to night. Garden lighting plays a vital role in creating an atmosphere that feels both cozy and enchanting. Soft, warm light sources, such as string lights overhead, solar lanterns nestle among plants, or pillar candles in antique holders, cast a gentle glow that enhances textures and shadows. Lantern-style sconces or Edison bulb pendants can add to the vintage appeal. Use lighting to highlight focal points like a flower arch, water feature, or seating area. Scatter smaller tea lights or mason jar candles throughout the yard to create a romantic and flickering trail. These subtle illuminations transform the garden into a magical retreat perfect for evening relaxation or entertaining. Vintage-style lighting not only adds function but also becomes part of the decor, enhancing the timeless beauty of your outdoor sanctuary. No English courtyard garden is complete without a thoughtful and charming seating area. The key is to make it feel like an extension of your indoor living space. Start with classic pieces like wrought iron or aged wooden furniture that can withstand the elements while offering visual appeal. Add soft cushions in floral or faded botanical prints, and drape a vintage quilt or throw over the back of a chair for comfort and style. Surround the seating with potted plants, hanging baskets, or even a small potting bench used decoratively. Layer textures and colors through table linens, ceramic mugs, and vintage trays filled with garden-cut flowers. This intimate corner becomes a place for morning coffee, afternoon reading, or twilight conversation. It adds function without disrupting the natural, nostalgic ambience. With the right touches, your garden seating becomes not just a place to sit, but a true romantic experience. Thank you for spending time with us at Image Deco as we explored how to create a dreamy courtyard using the best English vintage garden yard ideas. As we've seen, it doesn't take a massive yard to evoke timeless beauty. It's about thoughtfully layering florals, antiques, textures, and stories. Each detail, from the winding paths to the flickering lanterns, contributes to the unique magic of a vintage-inspired outdoor escape. Whether you're working with a tiny patio or a modest backyard, the elegance of English garden charm is always within reach. We hope this video has inspired you to start your own transformation and turn your space into a whimsical storybook retreat. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more cozy design inspirations and garden ideas every week. Until next time, happy decorating and may your courtyard always bloom with timeless grace.